Hi, I'm Christy. Welcome to the Coven. Here is a space where we can get a little bit weird, get a little bit witchy, talk about the magical, talk about the mystical, talk about anything we like really. Today I have a little spell crafting video for you where I'm going to talk you through how I made my money bowl and how I kind of continue to work with that money bowl on a weekly-ish basis most weeks, but I'm busy, so I try and do something every week, but it doesn't always work out that way. So money bowls are very popular and they're very easy to put together. They are beginner friendly, so they're really good if you're kind of new to the practice or you just want something very simple to do, but they can also be very effective. You can kind of customize them to suit you and your needs. They look cute. Again, like I said, it's something that you constantly work with, so you're constantly putting that kind of flow of energy into the bowl to kind of keep the spell alive and going. They're fun to make, and in my experience, they do actually work. So why not create one? Basically, a money bowl, if you don't know what this is, it's a bowl of ingredients that promotes money and prosperity into your life. It's essentially like a money altar that you add to and take away from regularly to kind of keep this constant flow of abundance in your life. This particular rice money bowl that I've made was inspired by a creator on YouTube called The Witch of Wonderlust. I actually just started watching her videos a couple of weeks ago, but really enjoy her content, and I really liked the rice money bowl as well, so that inspired me to create my own. I've been working with this particular money bowl, it must be for I want to say maybe 2 months now. I've had this one on the go and I'm really enjoying working with it, and I am really seeing the benefits of it and seeing it really work and bringing that abundance into my life. So let's get into how I went about creating my money bowl, bearing in mind that the ingredients that you choose and the intentions that you put into it is going to be individual to you. This is just kind of I'm just kind of giving you this as an idea on what a money bowl could look like, but I believe that it's probably going to be more beneficial and you're going to see better results if the things that you use and the things that you do are unique to you and unique to your specific needs for the money bowl. And this is kind of part of the reason why I like spells like this so much, because there's that kind of creative control element to it where you really can have this as anything that you want it to be. So if you wanted a money bowl because you wanted money from a very specific place, if you wanted money from say for instance you wanted you make fucking earrings or something and you wanted that to start bringing money into your life, you could add ingredients for creativity because that's where you're going to be getting your income from. You could if you wanted a money bowl for if you wanted to receive money from a gift or something, you could use ingredients that are maybe quite unique or quite surprising that you wouldn't expect to find in a money bowl. I don't know, you could get really kind of creative with it. Mine is relatively simple. So the first thing I did when making my money bowl is the same thing that I do anytime I cast a spell, and that's to get very, very clear and very, very precise on what exactly it is that my outcome for this spell is going to be. And for me, I kind of see like the spell starting as soon as my planning stage starts. Like the planning and the writing down and the getting clear and getting specific is just as important as the actual like inputting the ingredients together. Like it's kind of helps it all kind of come together and really helps me channel my energy and focus my energy and know exactly what I'm doing and what I'm working towards. Otherwise, if I'm doing a spell and I don't really know what I want out of it, then what's the point in doing it, you know? So I wrote down exactly what I wanted from this money bowl. And for me, I wanted it to be a money bowl for everybody in my home, or even if like friends and stuff come over, they could feel free to take from and add to the money bowl as well. So I wanted it to be kind of like a community money bowl, I guess, more so for like the people in my house as the people who's most often going to be using it. But I kind of wanted it to be like a little piece of my house dedicated to money, like a little money or that can just be continuously used forever and ever and ever, and then it can be changed up forever and ever and ever, and anyone who lives in the house can invite their own personal intentions in through petitions or through taking money, adding money, that kind of thing. I wanted it to be kind of like community vibes. So then once I had my like intentions for the money bowl clear, what I wanted to get from it, I knew that I wanted it to kind of be changeable and moving, and everybody could add their intentions into it and it could work for everyone equally. I kind of narrowed my intention down into one clear and concise statement that could be true for everyone in the house, but also kind of just what I wanted, like the general energy of the money bowl to be. So again, if you were wanting to get your money in like a really specific way, your statement or little incantation is going to be different. So I put this together because it's what I wanted the kind of core essence of the money bowl to be, and that was money, wealth, prosperity, and abundance flows into my life easily, freely, and continuously. And the reason I said money, wealth, prosperity, and abundance is because although they might all seem very similar to each other, I feel like they are actually all quite different. So once I have my incantation ready, this is where I start to think about the ingredients that I'm going to use. Again, I write this all down as well and write why exactly I'm using that. Just means that when I'm like adding that ingredient in, I have that layer of knowing why I'm using that ingredient, and the intention there is just a little bit deeper rather than just being like, I'm going to use bay leaves because money. And then after all that, I'm ready to put everything together. So I got my bowl that I wanted to use. My bowl is an old plant pot that I had. It just happens to be very cute and on like a little stand, and it kind of looks like a little cauldron. I really like the vibe of it. I really like how it looks. But your money bowl can be literally anything that you want it to be. It can be like a cereal bowl. It can be fucking anything. It could be like a big cup or something. I would just say make it look cute and aesthetically pleasing to you, because especially if you're going to like have it on display in your home and you're going to be planning on interacting with it regularly, you want it to look nice. You want it to look like something that you want to like engage with as well. And I also think it just kind of adds like a little extra something if you enjoy looking at this thing. Like if you have like a money bowl and every time you see it you're like, fucking hell, that's like an eyesore, like that's so fucking ugly, like you're not really gonna be like excited to be like working with it. Whereas if you look at it and you're like, oh my god, that's so cute, let me like add a little something and add a little something else and like tidy it up and blah blah blah, you're going to have like a better connection with that like energy. Before actually using the ingredients that I'm going to be using and like the bowl itself, I also cleanse the ingredients. So I do this with smoke, but you can do this with like intention. You can cleanse things in like the moon. I just literally use like an incense stick and just swirled it around just with the intention of like removing any kind of old stagnant negative energy, letting that be released into the universe to be transformed into something else, and just the energy of having like a very fresh, clean slate. So now I have my bowl, I have my ingredients, everything is cleansed. Time to kind of get going and add in the ingredients. So as I add my ingredients to the bowl, I kind of tell the ingredients what it is that I want them to do and why I'm adding them to the bowl. I guess I say more of like a thank you to them as I'm adding them to the bowl rather than, bitch, you'll do this. Like it's more of like a thank you for bringing blah 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 into my life, thank you for da 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 da, and that's just kind of how I like to go about it. So the ingredients that I added were rice to bring good luck and to absorb in kind of money, wealth and abundance and prosperity from many different sources. If you think about rice, it absorbs a lot of things in. Rice is also very good because it's comes in like a huge abundance, so it has like that kind of abundant energy, but also it's often used in like celebrations and stuff like that. You know, people would like fling rice over people who are just married, so it has like a very good energy to it. So that was the intention for the rice. I also used some salt with the intention to cleanse away any blockages that might be getting in the way of allowing money, wealth, prosperity and abundance to flow to me freely. And these blockages could be like external blockages, or they could be like subconscious, like internal blockages and kind of like beliefs that I hold about money. The salt's just going to help to kind of cleanse any of that away. Rosemary to bring in blessings and to repel all negative energy away. I was going to use sugar, but I didn't actually have any sugar in the house. Randomly, it's something that I never really have like a bag of sugar in the house, but I did have chocolate powder, so I ended up using that. And I feel like chocolate also has this very kind of like decadent, luxurious vibe to it, so it actually turned out well, and I'm glad that I used that. And my intention behind that was to ensure that all the money and abundance came to me in the sweetest, easiest way possible. Apologies, by the way, for how much the lighting's changing. It is what it is, man. I also added in some dandelion root to bring in all this abundance in a way that's rooted and stable and reliable. You know, dandelions are like incredibly like resilient, but I also added it in with the intention that all of this kind of rooted, reliable, stable stuff will come in a way that aligns with my hopes, wishes and dreams, because dandelion, although being very like resilient and very like rooted and found like everywhere, obviously is also very associated with like blowing like the little heads away, making wishes, has this kind of like very like hopeful, abundant element to it as well, because all the little seeds sprinkle away and then create more dandelions. So I love working with dandelion in one way or another. People might see it as just like a common weed or a little pest, but it's actually a very good ally. And I also added in some cinnamon. This was to help keep the energy of the bowl alive and vibrant, and ensuring that all of this prosperity and abundance flowed into my life kind of quickly and freely. Cinnamon is good at cleansing and spicing things up a little bit, but it's also very good for like speeding things up as well. And then once all my ingredients were added, I literally just stirred them, repeating my incantation from before until it just really felt right. Sometimes I work with like certain numbers, like I'll say a thing, normally I would say a thing like 3 times is normally a number that I work with, but for this one I kind of just kept stirring and mixing with my intention and really sat with it and really channeled my energy into it until I just kind of felt like it felt right. So that is like the basis for the money bowl, and that's like the kind of the words. Say some of them, please. Yeah, so that's kind of like your money bowl with like the intention and with the ingredients that you're going to need. But like I said, I've been like working with this money bowl on a semi-weekly basis, normally on a Thursday because that's Jupiter's day. If you want to know a little bit more about, oh my god, this is like the noisiest street ever. Like, I feel like, yeah, if you want to know more about days of the week magic and why I use a Thursday to work with my money bowl, I do have a podcast episode all about that tells you like spell casting for each day of the week and why I've been doing this on a Thursday. So some things that I have added to my bowl is I've added a petition, which again was inspired by the Witch of Wonderlust, the thought of like adding a petition into the money bowl, which I've like never done before, but I think is like a really fantastic idea, especially because I'm using this as like a kind of communal like money bowl. It means that like other people can add their petitions into the bowl as well. And if you don't know what a petition is, it's just like a very easy, very basic spell that literally just requires a pen and paper. You can find like a very simple tutorial for this online. Probably you could Google it and find like a million results for it. And I just think, yeah, it's so good for anytime, like if I have like a little like desire or like I want money to kind of come into my life, like I'm kind of like needing money for something, like say for instance like I had to like pay for something by the end of like the month, I could add in a little petition for that. Say for instance I wanted to get more like money from I teach yoga, so if I wanted to get more like yoga classes so I could get more money, I could like add a little petition in for that. And like I said, then the other people like in my home can also be like, feel free to like add their petitions in as well. I've also got some money in my bowl as well, so this again, like kind of like the whole idea is like I'm filling it with things that make me feel abundant, remind me of money, remind me of prosperity, blah 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 blah. So of course money goes in the bowl, and how I've been using this is again, everyone in the house, anytime they get change or like a note or whatever, they can stick money in the bowl. But then as soon as it's like in there, it's kind of like community vibes, and if somebody like needs change for something or needs a fiver for something, they can feel free to take money from the bowl, and just kind of this constant like giving and taking and keeping the energy of the money moving. There's no point in like hoarding loads and loads of money in the bowl. That's not really the idea of it. The idea is to keep this moving, to keep it flowing. In my bowl, I also have an abundance sigil. Again, if you don't know what a sigil is, basically it's like a symbol with a specific meaning. So you can also think of it as even like a little logo. This abundance sigil that I created is specifically infused with the intention of my money bowl, and I kind of will use this if ever I need like a little boost of like abundance and stuff. Mine was inspired by the Jupiter symbol, was like the base of my sigil, and then I added a little more to it as well. If you would like me to talk more about sigils, I could do like a whole podcast episode on sigils or like a video or something. But again, very easy to create, very versatile type of magic as well. Or if you don't want to make your own, which I kind of always recommend like making your own, you could literally just use like the symbol of Jupiter and the Jupiter glyph and just put that on your money bowl, as obviously that is already like highly associated with prosperity. Also in and around the bowl I have some, I'm looking up there because that's where it is. Also in and around the bowl I have some crystals, and I have some affirmation cards that my friend gave to me as well, so I can like switch out these affirmation cards whenever I feel like I want to. My crystals are up there. Some crystals are also in the bowl as well. And then I have some very, very cute little garden gnomes like around the bowl, which I fucking love. And I thought they were like, again, my friend gifted me these little gnomes because they're all doing yoga, and she was like, oh my god, is that like the most you thing that I've ever seen in my fucking life? And they're so sweet, and I kind of see them as like protectors of the bowl. But of course, like, gardens are very known for being like super like abundant and full of kind of like lush greenery, and like I just felt like they were kind of right to be there. Like, this is like my little money garden, you know? And then kind of going off of the money garden vibe, I also have my little frog plant there as well. Just thought he was dead cute. Frogs are also very lucky as well. And I just associate like plants and this kind of like greenery with this like abundant energy. And where I have my money bowl sitting is where I will put flowers whenever I have like a bunch of flowers in the house. So again, adds to it, still keeping the energy flowing, still keeping the energy going. And then literally my favourite part of the bowl is my little lucky troll that I have in there. I love these wee guys so much, and the one that I have in there I have actually had since I was a little girl, so it's probably like about 30-year-old or something like that. And I just love him. I feel like he's going to bring in like a lot of luck. Kind of want the money to come in like a fun way as well. It's like a light-hearted energy to him, and again, he's just going to keep all the vibes just right. And then also on a Thursday, I have been leaving offerings to Jupiter, or Zeus, who I kind of like to refer to him as Zeus a little bit more. I know obviously Jupiter is the planet and also the Roman god, but he is like Zeus in Greek mythology. And I do work with planets, but I like resonate more deeply with deities than planets. Again, if you want to check out that days of the week video, it kind of explains that in a lot more detail there. But on a Thursday, I have been leaving an offering to Jupiter. Normally this is some coffee, and I'll kind of, because my bowl is on like a little stand, I can like place some coffee like underneath in like a little, I just use like a measuring cup that you get for like cooking, put some coffee in there. If I kind of want to speed things up, I'll put a little bit of cinnamon in there as well, or I will put some like maple syrup for like a little bit of sweetness. I'm sure Zeus would prefer honey, some nectar of the gods, but I'm vegan, so I don't ever have honey in the house, so I'm sorry, it's issued in my house now. You're getting maple syrup, unfortunately. And sometimes I will leave like a glass of wine there as well as an offering as well. And yeah, that is pretty much how I work my money bowl. I hope that you have enjoyed this, and I hope that you've found it useful. This is like the first video that I've actually done as like a spell talk through, I believe. I don't think I've done a video like this before. So if it is something that you enjoy, please let me know that you've enjoyed it by telling me in the comments, being like, hey, amazing, or something like that. I don't know, just do whatever, I don't care. But yeah, if you've enjoyed it and you would like to have like more kind of these like sit down chatty like spell tutorial kind of videos, then I'd be more than happy to do that. I might make it a little series. I'll kind of have to think of like a cute name for the series, but that will come with time, don't worry. If you make a money bowl, let me know that you've made one. You can like find me on Instagram, kristys_coven. I'll put the name here on the screen somewhere, and you can like tag me in it so that I can actually see the money bowl that you've made, and that would be kind of cute. I don't know, that could be kind of fun, whatever. And that's the end of that. Okay, bye.